for something. If you're listening on the iHeartRadio app, you can always leave us messages, quick ones on the talkback button. Guardians are off tonight. They swept the Royals, and they'll head to Baltimore to play the Orioles tomorrow night. 7:05 is the first pitch here on WMMS and on the iHeartRadio app, if you want to listen to the game. And as June is underway, make sure you use the promo code BILL, B-I-L-L, for 20% off whatever you get at CLE Clothing Company. Got a whole bunch of Buzzard merch there. I think we have our own tab at cleclothingco.com. I'll have Guardians tickets for you for next week's homestand against the Rangers, specifically the Tuesday game, in about a half an hour. So if you want to get yourself to a Guardians game. Still don't know what the what the shorthand is. Has anybody heard,
Guards?
Do they call them the Guards? Is that a thing?
I've heard Hammy call them the Guards.
The Guards, okay. Not the G-Men? Thought maybe G-Men would take off. Okay. The Guards. Guards Rangers next week at Progressive Field. Owen Wilson has become the victim of a rim job.
Oh, no.
Victim?
Can you really be a victim of that?
Yeah, honestly.
You can if it was unannounced. The Butterscotch Stallion. Isn't that what they used to call Owen Wilson?
He had a reputation, I believe.
And they called him I don't know why they called him that, but I believe back in the day they called him the Butterscotch Stallion. And I guess because he's blonde. And I guess maybe he liked to get back there and do a little munching from time to time. Nevertheless, somebody stole his rims and tires right off his Tesla, right outside of his house. Poundcake likes to think that every celebrity, no matter how obscure they are, lives behind some giant wrought iron fence or in a gated community.
If they're smart, they would.
And his car, Owen Wilson, he's a successful guy.
Well,
even if you haven't seen one of his movies recently, he's still making them. Just had a big J-Lo movie that came out. He's on Loki over on Disney+. His Tesla was parked right outside his house in Santa Monica, and it came out to find that now, I do like how they say rims and tires. Would somebody steal the tires and just leave a stack of rims, or they're going to take both?
Not always. Not unless if you don't have nice rims, they could just take the tires off.
But why would they do that? They would take the tires and just said that the estimated cost to replace everything would be around $4,000. That doesn't sound like a lot of money. $1,000 a wheel? Rim and tire? So, Owen Wilson walks out, and I lived in Ohio City for many years, and our house was a mirror image of the house next door to us. The same contractors had built both houses, and so we kind of had we were right next door to this other house. It was a girl that we knew. It was somebody that my wife used to work with. And she came out on multiple occasions over the years that we lived there, and her Honda Accord would be up on milk crates. Mm-hmm. They would have stolen, this poor girl, like multiple times. We lived in Ohio City about 5 years. And she was, twice a year replacing her tires. Like, why don't you replace your car? Hondas are stolen off of... Yeah, right. Get something that's not as so attractive common. A lot of people are having catalytic converters stolen. They'll come out and get in their car because you're not going to notice by looking at it until you're driving around, and it sounds like...
I had a Camry and that happened.
Yeah, it's like, you're like, what the hell is going on?
I thought the car was going to explode. I came out, I worked a lunch shift, so I was only there from like 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. I was working downtown. Parked my car out at a meter, went out and fed it halfway through, came back after the lunch shift, and my car was sounding like that. And I was like, oh my God, I'm freaking out because I'm like, I don't think I can drive this. And one of the line cooks got down under my car. He's like, yeah, someone stole your catalytic converter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what does that even mean?
Dude, that's so weird.
Well, and those thefts went through the roof during the pandemic, too, because there's like really, really valuable metals in a catalytic converter. Yeah. So they're just getting stolen left and right off of people's cars.
I was on a walk today, and I saw someone had an emblem taken off the front of their car. Unless they got in a really weird accident where I don't know enough
fall
about
off
cars.
all the time.
But no, it was like the circle was gone. I think it was a Mercedes, like where it was on the grill, like an SUV was gone, and then it was like cracked underneath, so it looked like someone had like
someone took it off to wear it as a necklace.
That's why I was like, I did not know that people were still doing that, like stealing car emblems.
They're not. That's
Empty covers both food and car. Holy Jumping Caesar's catfish! My H has been stolen! Oh, that's how people know it's a Honda!
Oh, Super Nintendo Chalmers.
Honda, if you can't show it off.
Sir, if you'll just stop yelling at me, I'm sure I can find a replacement. Here we I'll just...
Hey, get away from my car!
This way.
Try to peel the H off a Hyundai.
Off of Kearney's.
Yeah,
It was in elementary school, but old enough to drive a car.
Go so well. Is that the kid's name, Kearney?
Yeah.
The bald kid? I don't think I ever knew his name.
Kearney and Jimbo, and I can't remember what the other kid's name is. And then Nelson Munces will eventually, occasionally run with them. What's the other kid's name?
I don't know. Bosco? Is that a name? Any chance? Bosco. Buying locking lug nuts aren't that expensive, says Mike and Parmy. Yeah, that's true too.
Dolph.
Wow. It's wheels and tires, Alan. Rims are for basketball hoops. I didn't make that up. I mean, they're called rims. There's hood stores called Rims R Us, But Owen
Rims
Wilson.
R Us sells hoods?
Yeah.
And basketball
RIMZ.
hoops, they have all the rims you need.
Wow.
RIMZ.
They're the discount drug mart of rims.
Stop shop.
Alan, you don't think you make elitist statements. $1,000 for each tire and rim is very pricey. I don't know cars. That's all I'm saying. If you're Owen Wilson, I would think that I don't know these things. Not elitist. I don't know.
Also, for Owen Wilson, that's not a lot of money.
That's my point. It doesn't sound like, I don't know what he's driving a Tesla. I don't know how tricked out it is.
Alan's not elitist. $1,000. That's walking around money. What are you filling it with your above ground pool? I don't know how they work.
Wait, let me follow that. Are you filling your Tesla with your above ground pool?
Is that where all your money is? In your above ground? I don't know how they work. I've never seen one. Before.
If you pull the pool cover back, you'll see it's filled with gold doubloons.
I've only recently looked at to see how much gas costs. And,
Oh, I know how much gas costs.
I
I'm
guess
not
it's
even
expensive.
sure.
I don't know.
For a long time, I wasn't paying attention, but I'm like everybody else now. I'm paying attention, close attention to gas. Poundcake puts it in $10 at a time.
Just $10.
It gets you about a gallon, and it gets you about a little over a gallon these days.
You know how they say, like,
You might put $10 in, but you're putting it in a lot more frequently.
people who used to roll out in the windows because they didn't have any AC, or they said AC costs more, and then people were like, well, it's still the same price if you're, turning up the AC and roll the windows up, because if you roll the windows down, it makes it less aerodynamic. This is what I say about me putting $10 in a tank. It saves me on my mental health. So technically, yes, my car does have more gas if I put in more than $10, but then it would stress me out. So.
Saves you on your mental health?
Yes, I'm not stressing over gas prices, because no matter what, bitch is
You
getting
just put
$10.
in.
And my mental health is fine. I'm not stressing about bills. I'm not stressing about nothing. I know my car's getting $10, and my car knows it too. So no stress. I'm not complaining about gas prices.
Well, there's supposedly, I was reading something this morning, they're supposedly opening the floodgates on production, so hopefully gas prices will go down.
If it does, that's great.
Alan, I work for the Guardians, and I'm going to start making everyone call them the G-Men. Yeah, Godspeed. I don't know how much influence you've got over there, but I mean, we made Romo Fijo happen. So again, I'm not planting my flag in G-Men. I just genuinely hadn't heard if there was a short name for it.
I've heard
what the
guards.
equivalent
That's
of
all
the
I-
tribe would be, Alan, that texter was just saying that rims is a ghetto word. Real car guys call them wheels. Yeah, I'm not a real car guy. I know jack squat about cars. Don't know.
Either. I had to go buy
Pedal go down, car go zoom. That's all I know. I know how to do a couple of things, but I do not know.
I'm like that typical person who's super uncomfortable when I have to do anything that refers to my car. I had to buy wiper blades today, and I went to like the AutoZone, and I was like, hey, here's my car, here's my make and model, and the guy...
Did you call them stretchy rain things?
No, I knew they're called wiper blades. I actually might have just called them wipers.
wiper blades.
Blades
My
are not that
wiper
sharp.
blades.
But like the guy was explaining it, I'm like, why are they $60 a piece? And he's like, these are the best ones, and this, that, and the other. And I don't.
Yeah, they should not be $60 a piece.
They were like $45.
You can get
60's
decent
too
ones
much,
for
but yeah.
$25. I mean,
Well, the ones I bought were
Rain-X at Target.
$45 for both. But then he was like, oh, is it here? I'll help you put them on. And I walked there. So I was like, no. And then I get home and I'm looking at it and I was like, this is it's so overwhelming. I feel like everything about a car is so overwhelming. Even though I could watch a YouTube video and put my wiper blades on, I still feel like I get very, very uncomfortable and very stressed out.
You know,
I'm
Mary,
ready
well,
to
but
do
a lot
also-
of people feel that way, and that's why I recommend going to Terry's North Coast Auto.
Also,
for wiper blades.
for anything, probably for all your needs.
For all your car needs.
And once you've done it, you've done it.
But they're all different. This one had a different type of little clicky thing.
Oh, the
It was
peg
like
as opposed to
it
the...
was
Yeah, but there's
real weird.
instructions in the package.
Yeah, I didn't have time.
Oh.
Yes.
I pulled the instructions out.
You know what? You should go there because you'll get free wiper blades from Terry's North Coast Auto.
With a service, or you can just go in and get free wiper blades.
Well, with a service.
Yeah.
And by the way, in my adult life, I've lived in way more bad neighborhoods than good ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always been a couple blocks away from a rim store.
Carjacking.
Yeah, so I don't whatever they're called, who knows? Windshield squeegees is what Mary should call them. There you go.
Mine are so bad.
Rain scrapers.
My boyfriend's like mad at me because the one it's got like it's starting to come off, so there's like a little tail that flops every time, and it's like not clearing anything. I'm like, I can go another day or two. He's just like,
Oh, it's peeling away from
it's
the.
so bad. He's like, you cannot see. I'm like, I'm like looking up out the top corner quadrant of the car. Because I'm not cheap, but things like that I get really frustrated about because I'm like, these should not cost this much money. It's just rubber.
Oh, I was coming back from Michigan a couple of months ago, and one of them just flew off my car.
Oh, nice.
And I go, I must have put that one on wrong because I had just replaced them, and it flew off. I was like, God damn it! If it starts raining, I'm really screwed. And then it started raining. I got some sperm news here. Sperm news. Apparently, there's a 0.3% of this happening, which still sounds pretty high to me. But a woman in Texas became pregnant while being pregnant. And she had twins. Imagine you're the guy. Oh, my God. Imagine you're the guy. She's like, you can't get me any more pregnant. So he unwraps, right? 30-year-old woman in Texas who became pregnant while already being pregnant.
That ruined like my entire fantasy because I said, if I sleep with a woman, I want her to already be pregnant.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of guys who
man.
want to bang their pregnant wife,
Yeah, that's their
and they're not
fetish.
worried about it. And the old line is, you're not going to make me any more pregnant.
Well, that is not true.
Kara Winhold became pregnant in February of last year. A month later, she was pregnant again. It's called superfetation in medical terms. Jesus Christ.
That has to be super dangerous, right?
Dangerous? I don't know.
You better stay away from her. Because between her
Super fertile.
super fetacious womb and your super sperm,
Yeah, I know.
you guys just being in the same room could lead to babies.
Somebody's getting pregnant
Super sperm.
like a Tracy Morgan joke. I
get
broke down
you pregnant.
in tears and cried. I was overwhelmed and confused, but very happy. My husband was in shock. Of course he was.
Yeah.
I always look at the guy anytime someone's televised talking about how they're going to have twins. Because I'm sure anyone who's told they're going to have twins, there's that moment of freaking out. But the guy never looks happy. Never. The one's like,
lot.
oh my God, it's just bundles of joy. And two, the guy never looks happy. Think about
Because
this.
they're thinking about how much money it is.
Yes, of course.
Everything costs twice as much now.
Yeah.
At the same time.
And it's not like, if you ever talk to parents of twins, they'll go, it's not like it's just double the work. It's exponentially more work
Yeah.
with two kids.
My brother has I have twin nieces that are going to they just turned 10, I think. And they said it's impossible. It is cool. Yeah, you have a built-in best friend or whatever. But like, they're never on the same, as babies, infants, they're never on the same sleep schedule. They're never on the same eating schedule. It's impossible. And they're like, we don't know how we did it.
Yeah. This woman had suffered 3 miscarriages prior to trying for another child. And that's what gets you too. Because once you get that in your brain, you're like, okay, I'm not going to stop until I get pregnant. You don't take that as some sign that maybe you're done. They already had a son. You got it in your brain, you go, well, we're doing this until we get pregnant. And then she got pregnant, and she got pregnant again. It's probably a celebratory pop, too. Mm-hmm. Be very, very strange. Honey, guess what? I'm pregnant. Oh, I know. No. I'm pregnant again.
Double pregnant. Double secret pregnant.
Extra
Double
pregnant.
pregnant.
That'd be so bad.
Oh, God. Well, listen, God bless them and their little bundles of joy. What a blessing. What a miracle. You okay over there?
I'm just so
Throwing things all over?
It's the idea of being pregnant once, let alone twice. I
Oh,
just had
God.
to throw my phone at the ground.
She's treating it like windshield wiper blades over there. Hello.
Hello, Bill.
Hey, who's this?
Bill, you know who this is. This is Wilhelmina.
Oh, hey, Wilhelmina. It's been a while. How are you?
It has been a while, hasn't it? I haven't talked to you in a while.
How are things?
Things are things, Bill.
Things are things.
Things are things.
So,
Just sitting in the backyard enjoying the day.
Oh, yeah?
I have today off.
Oh. Where are you working at these days?
Nowhere. I have the day off.
You have every day off?
I have every day off.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying today's no different.
Okay.
I have the day off.
What are you thinking about?
I heard you talking about that girl who got double pregnant, Bill.
Yeah, isn't that
So
crazy?
weird. That's so weird.
It's so weird.
I remember many, many years ago getting an ultrasound. I was at my doctor and I had an ultrasound, and the doctor thought that I was having twins.
Really?
Yes,
I didn't even know you had any kids or even had
I do.
You do?
He thought it was twins. It just turned out to be a baby and then a giant undigested burrito. It looked like another baby. It had hair and nails, so that was the confusing part. That was why we
Where do you get your burritos?
were just in there a long time. That was what the confusing part was. But I eventually passed that baby and had my son.
What's your son's name?
Well, you know we're Swedish, Bill.
Okay.
My son's name is Nerd. But he left home a long time ago. We didn't talk too much yet.
How old is he?
Well, I actually got a letter from him recently. Well, not from him. It was a letter from the state of Arizona. It said, certificate of death.
Oh, what?
But my son's name is on it, so it counts as a letter.
So your son
Said
died?
he was 19 years old, I guess.
Jeez.
I lost track, Bill.
I mean, you're a busy lady. You got all these days off. It's hard to keep track of everything that's going on
That's
with
the
your...
problem. I am not busy.
Are you sad about this?
I am sad. Yes.
It's pretty tragic. He's only a young man.
I called him my little other burrito. He had hair and nails too. But I feel like this isn't going anywhere.
Well, I mean, it's a lot to process when you call up, tell me you had a kid. I never knew you had a kid.
I know.
And then I find out that not only did you have a kid, he died. And that also he had hair and nails.
Well, I just found that out, Bill. We're finding that out together.
Yeah.
The mail came yesterday.
Wow. Well, I'm sorry about your loss.
Me too.
You don't sound all that bummed about it.
Well, it's fine. I have the day off. I'm in a good mood. I'll talk to you later. I gotta go. Bye.
Bye. Everybody handles grief differently.
You know, maybe it'll hit her a little bit later.
A little bit later.
Yeah. She's
maybe
in
a little
shock.
bit
She's
later.
in shock. She has the day
Yeah.
off.
She also has, the day off. She doesn't want to ruin her day off.
Alan, my maternal grandmother had 3 sets of twins in 36 months.
Oh.
My mom was one of them. Wow. Yeah, what do they say? You're genetically predisposed, I guess, in those situations. But holy cow.
My grandmother married a twin. And then
good for you!
And then her sister married the other twin.
I think it's freaky when like a twin marries somebody and then the other twin marries the other sibling.
Yeah.
Or, oh God.
Why is that
Did they
weird?
ever do a switcheroo?
Right. That's why.
Well, I don't know. This was back in 19...
Well, that's what I'm saying. But it would
40-something.
But it would just be unquestionably weird if you and your spouse had another couple that looked exactly like you, because you each married the twin sibling.
I think I would want to take the other twin for a spin. You're curious. I think most people
Curious about what? They look the same. That's where
I
it
want to
begins
know
and ends.
if
Like,
I got the right.
I already
twin.
have the person who looks like that.
I want to know who
Right.
got the better stroke.
Well,
I'll keep it to myself.
If
But
then you know for a fact that you and your sister are attracted to each other's husbands because they look identical.
So
You know,
what?
Maybe their
So that feels
personality.
weird where you're
maybe
like-
the personality.
You know for a fact you have the hots for your sister's husband and she has the hots for yours.
Yeah.
That's weird.
There's always, though, and I would imagine, there's always little distinctions. And if you're married to them, you probably know them really
and
well.
like you said, personality differences and things like that. But if
Right.
maybe you have a couple red wines at the Christmas party.
Hey, then you find out.
And you go,
Your husband has a mole on his penis.
The other
Brother-in-law
one
does
doesn't.
not. Doesn't.
Found out the hard way, literally.
That's right.
It is also just weird when you meet someone and you know them as that individual, and then you find out that they are a twin. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, am I ever going to think I'm running into you, but I'm not running into you?
Mm-hmm.
I dated a twin.
It's weird.
Yeah, when I first moved to Michigan many years ago, I dated a twin. And her sister was one of the most vile people I'd ever met in my life.
What made her vile?
But she was just an awful, awful human being. Couldn't have been more different than the
Evil
girl
one.
I was
Did
dating.
she have a goatee?
She didn't have a goatee, no. She had a spiritual goatee around her heart.
Let me guess. She was called the evil twin.
It wasn't even like that. No, the two of them got along really, really well. I just thought that the sister was just awful. She's like a TV weather girl now back at home. But
I have a girl I used to work with. She has twins, and the one is, they're fraternal twins. And the one is like the cutest little girl you'll ever see in your life. And then the other one is like a carbon copy of her dad. And
Oh,
I'm
no.
like, I know. And every time I see him, I'm
male
like,
pattern baldness.
yeah. It's just like, oh, like that's got to be hard to be a twin because you're probably constantly compared to your twin already. And then like you talk about the pretty twin.
Well, it's
or
almost
the-
like you're not twins.
Yeah,
You'll
'cause
tell
they're
people
fraternal,
we're
yeah.
twins, right? And people go, are you though?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we
right,
are.
yeah.
My daughter's best friends are twins, and they actually came to my show at Hilarities last week, and it ended up being one of the topics for Stand and Deliver. But it's still like I've known these girls for 10 years or so, and I still like don't know who's who. I'm just like, what's up, you two? Like I don't know. There's no way to tell which one's Mimi and which one's Allie. I'm just like, yeah, there they are. How are you guys? Everything good? You can tell me about your life together because I look at you as one person.
Well, Bill, it's easy to tell them apart. They had different names.
Yeah, but I don't know. They
The
don't
trick
wear name
is to
tags.
have twins and name them the same name.
We're name tags.
Okay, I'm going to break. I will have those Guardians tickets for you as promised. The homestand next week against the Rangers. I'll put you at Tuesday's game. 35192 and text me for anything else, and we'll be back.